Uh, uh-huh. Yes. Yes, I'm live. That's right. You didn't think it was coming, did you? You're like, Kravitz, no show today. What are you doing? And then last minute, Mischief night. Hey, everybody. Jeff Kravitz, 420 Live. Welcome to, another day, another adventure. Another day, another $3.50. That's what it averages out to. That's what I've left in my savings. I'm living on $3.50 a day. It's basically a cup of coffee, some ramen noodles. You all know I love ramen noodles, and a drive-through Impossible Burger once a week. I actually stopped eating meat, so being healthy. Anyway, I hope everybody's enjoying. It's Friday. It's Mischief night. Today is the 30th of October. Historically, a night where I would be every other year in Las Vegas or in Atlantic City seeing my band Fish with all my friends, doing their thing and relaxing and pretending it was 2016. We're going back to 2016. We're going to rewind, erase the past 4 years, and we're going to move forward to a new beginning. As I don't have a guest today, I just came to say hi to all my friends. As you know, this is a place of distraction. It's a place I started coming to many months ago to hang out with you and literally get high at 420 with my friends that were all over the country and not able to be together. And now it's been 7 months without us together, and I'm higher than ever, and I'm sure you guys are too. And I find a steady diet of cannabis is probably the only thing that's kept me sane this entire time. I can't imagine if I was a heavy drinker, what my outlook would be on our life and our situation, but not really my thing. So I'm just inhaling some fine. And today, back with the THC design, this is their indica. So I won't be quite as spunky when I'm done smoking this. The K24 is the name of the strain. I'm going to have a little flavor here. And, I have a video. I got a video I got to show you guys. I don't know if you know this, but Fish played in Atlantic City. It was like the biggest thing ever for me because that's where I was born and raised. In 2010, they decided to do Halloween at the convention hall in Atlantic City. And being raised in Atlantic City, I had a special affinity with that town. So when I heard I had to go to Atlantic City in October, which I never go back in the fall or the winter, rarely, maybe once in a while for Thanksgiving. I went back last year during Thanksgiving to go see Fish again. Basically, if Fish is playing in the fall, I'll make my way back east. So I went back east to see my folks. It was Halloween, and I took Pinky to his first Fish show. That was 2010. And they played Convention Hall, and Pinky sent me this article that he wrote before the show about, because my dad would write an article about what was happening in Atlantic City. So one of the things he wrote about was Fish coming to Atlantic City, and he sent it to me to proofread it, to check it, to make sure that, he had it right. So I got hold of it. I decided to write this whole little chunk in there about a mockingbird, because Pinky talked about having a seagull. I think his name was Benny or something, the seagull that would give him information. So I took his idea of a seagull and made it a mockingbird. And, I had heard the rumors about the Waiting for Columbus, which is one of my favorite live records ever. And I heard the rumors about the Waiting for Columbus, and I was like, okay, maybe it's going to be that. I think Led Zeppelin would be a lot of fun. So I wrote this nice little column, and I put it in the paper, and then it went to press. And, I don't really think things through. I'm just like, yeah, this is a great idea. And then, of course, it blows up. The scene just gets it and runs with it. It's all over. People are talking about it. Oh, Fish is going to play Led Zeppelin. Fish is going to play Led Zeppelin. So the 30th, they came out in the tweezer, and they absolutely destroyed it. Yes, I know it was Waiting for Columbus. That's not the question. The question is, why did they play the Led Zeppelin? They played the Led Zeppelin because of the article I wrote. And here it is. I know I'm going to get banged on the copyright for this, but I don't really give a shit. Here we go. Can you hear it? So make sure I gotta make sure. Hold on. I gotta make sure you guys can hear this because I think I blew that. I know you can hear that, but hold on. Let me make sure I'm sharing this right because I could have blown that. Share. Chrome tab. Oh yes, with audio. Share audio. That's what I was missing. Here you go. Let's get into this tweezer here from 10:30:10.
Won't you step into the freezer? Caesar with a tweezer. Won't you step into the freezer? Caesar with a tweezer. It's gonna be cold, 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 cold. It's gonna be cold, 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 cold. It's gonna be cold, 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 cold. It's gonna be cold, cold. Won't you step into the freezer? Please don't wear the tweezer. Won't you step into the freezer? Please don't wear the tweezer. It's gonna be cold, 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 cold. It's gonna be cold, 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 cold. It's gonna be cold, 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 cold. It's gonna be cold, cold, cold. Look who's in the freezer. Uncle Ebenezer.
Trey doesn't wait a minute to get into it. Right out, tweezer. In a whole lot of love. Heartbreaker.
Hey, fellas, have you heard the news? Everybody's back in town. All the fellas lay their money down. It's time to say about the days of change. It was so long ago. There's a different smile in the moment.
Thank you, Mark Ross. Thank you. I was muted and I was talking to myself. So just imagine sitting there and then hearing the notes ring out of Zeppelin out of the tweezer and knowing full well that it was because of the prank I pulled. So I was shocked. My jaw was on the floor. My friends around me were looking at me. My friend DJ came up to me and was like, "What did you do, dude?" I was like, "I don't know. I didn't do anything. I just put an idea in a head, and I put the idea, who would think that the guys in the band would be reading Pinky's article?" But it touched my heart, and it's one of my favorite memories of Pinky with the band. There's a couple great ones. That one really stands out because it was welcoming Fish to my hometown with one of my all-time favorite pranks of all time. So I will say you're welcome, and I sure hope I can do something like that again. And it made me grab my guitar. Check that out. Made me grab my guitar on the side because I love just playing along with that tweezer. But when he hit the Whole Lot of Love, he was actually in A. And a Whole Lot of Love is. You need cooling, baby, I'm not fooling. I'm gonna send you back to school. And as you can see, there's a reason I'm not a singer. I don't want anything to happen to that. I'm gonna have to lay it down flat. It's my most valuable prized possession is my Jerry-like axe. My axe like Jerry. Now, if I could just play it like Jerry, I'd be a lot more entertaining. But that's my Halloween. That's my Mischief night story. I've done many mischiefy things over my course of my life. I consider myself a prankster. I know there's probably a couple of you out there that think of yourselves in the same way. A merry prankster out there trying to light people's lives up, and take them on an adventure. And it's been absolutely a shell shocker. And as you know, we're in the pickle and you all have to get out there. I don't have my vote button. I don't know where I put it. Oh, there it is. You got to get out the vote. You got to make sure you register to vote. Every time you turn around, you hear more about the corruption. And it's amazing when the president doesn't want people to vote. What does that say? What's the message? What's the message out there? Don't vote. Don't you vote. I don't want you voting. We're not going to count your ballot because you didn't get it in time, even if it's in by the date. Look at that. I'm sure that turned a lot of people off today to have to look at that the whole day. NBA champions. The city of champions, LA. And I don't think we're doing it in soccer, so don't worry about it. Looks like Portugal kicked our ass. So don't have to worry about that. But anyway, folks, I got a busy weekend planned. I'm playing a gig on tomorrow night and a socially distanced outdoor mini concert in Beverly Hills on this really big property. I'm very excited, but trying to do something nowadays. Everybody's so shell-shocked. We have the tests. We test people before they get there. We want everybody to be safe. You know, there's no margin of error. There's no room for a margin of error. But I get it. People are shocked. They're afraid. But I've done a couple of these. I've done a couple outdoors things where you get tested first. And I worked on the MTV Awards, so I kind of get the whole thing. And I got it. I am here for mischief. I'm here for fun. And I'm going to bring it. And I want to do more of it. I think that, we're all kind of shell-shocked. We don't know what to do. And it's because of our leadership. And that's why I recommend you vote. And that's why we are voting. Do you know in Texas today, more people voted 4 days out from the election than voted in the entire election last year? And I believe the same things happened in Georgia and many, many, many states. So people want change, I think. But, it could be the people that want everything to stay the same. It's up to you to get out there and let people know how you think. And I just want a participation. I want big numbers, because the bigger the numbers, the more Satan's going to get beaten down into his hole. Beat Satan down. Beat Satan down. Let's say, Mindy, a little fact here. Brad was telling us about the band wanting to prank his fans. They were going to leak sound check and then playing some Zeppelin before the run. They went to upload the video and someone had already uploaded it. It was the food vendor. There you go. Well, that's, the band doesn't have to do anything anymore. You put it up there, people are going to grab it. It was a classic night, and being in Atlantic City was classic. And we had a party at the Grand Fromage. I believe it was right after that show. I was on stage, another show, performing with my friend Kevin Shapiro and Dr. Mark Chaldon, our chemist, and Sean Alquist and Clayton Halsey, and all of our friends that would get together. And Pat Lee was there on bass and Adam King on keys. I mean, that was a combination between Dead Set and a little California love. And we all got together at this place called the Grand Fromage, which was a bar I hung out with when I was a teenager in Atlantic City that had turned into a tranny bar. So it was kind of interesting because they had a live music venue upstairs and the trannies kind of hung downstairs. Or I guess transvestites. I'm sure I'm not saying that properly, but that's the term we used. I know I probably offended all my listeners. I could just watch you go right now. But the transvestites had the downstairs, and I wanted to have the whole place to myself. And they went to the owner and are like, look, we're here 365 days a year. This character's only here for one night. You want our business or you want their business? And, some of my friends got some very interesting offers that night. Not going to go into detail. But it was a great night. Pizza, Grand Fromage, crammed with about 150 of our friends, rocking out, us all playing cover tunes and having a blast. We even did a whole lot of love that night. Not quite as, I licked my lips as I said tranny bar, because it's so dry. It's really, I'm in the middle, like everything's getting dry. All my bud is crumbling now. I don't even have to put it in a grinder. You just take the bud and like that, and the whole thing just turns to dust. So my friend Doug Nugg turned me on to a humidifier, something that's going to keep the moisture in my weed. Because man, all summer it didn't happen, and then it's like the Santa Anas come blowing in, and it's just like it sucks all the moisture out of everything. I'm literally parched. So yeah, I'm licking my lips. Okay. So Ike was at sound check and heard the Zepp teases. So they were on it. Of course they were on it. They didn't make, you got to practice those songs. And even they were a little bit rough too. When you heard the Ramble On, I mean, the solo in the Ramble On, I mean, it could have used a little bit more practice. I think they're a little bit too tough, but the energy of the fans and the energy in Convention Hall was unlike anything I'd ever experienced in that room. I grew up in that room, and it was anything I'd ever experienced at a Phish show before. I mean, I've seen a lot of crazy shows, but it was Madison Square Garden energy times 10. It was just explosive. When they dropped into these songs, the whole venue lit up like nothing I've ever seen. So what do I need now? A Bavita pack for your nug jar. Yes, I know. I've got all kinds of advice now. It was sick. It was great. And then to go roll into a party at the Fromage after that. And now the Fromage, everything's boarded up. All of Atlantic City pretty much boarded up. The casinos are open for business, and they've been doing okay. People still want to gamble. Don't gamble with their lives. Take your lives in your hands to go put a bet down. But, it's all about entertainment, and it's really hard. Like, I was in Costco yesterday, and it was packed, and I'm like, this is what people do for entertainment now. They go to freaking Costco. Because what else are you doing? You can't go to the movie theater, can't go to a concert. You recreate, outdoor activities. You hang out in your house. I mean, LA is closed down pretty much. But we're going to open up a little bit tomorrow. And waiting for Columbus, back to the Fish show. 10-year anniversary was amazing. Note for note, perfect. The execution was unbelievable. I heard Trey talking about how, yes, New Year's Eve type energy. Exactly. I heard Trey talking about how his favorite was Remain in Light, which I didn't see. But I'm a huge Talking Heads fan since 1980. So that album resonated with me, and I was really bummed to miss it because I was listening to Fish at the time, and I was down for anything like that, especially acknowledging a band that I grew up with and loved so much. And I saw the Heads in 1981 at the Mann Music Center. They were doing Remain in Light tour. It was the tour before the Big Suit tour, and it was absolutely stunner. You just left there blown away. It was one of the greatest live music experiences of my life. And the band, like when I saw tapes of the band, the one from 1980 from Rome that everybody's watching, they're just running on a different kind of energy. They were amazing. I miss them. I miss the Talking Heads. I miss all the bands where the lead guys are dicks and don't want to get back together. Gwen Stefani, not want to go with, not that she's a guy, but Gwen Stefani not wanting to play with her, no doubt. David Byrne not wanting to play with his head. The Kinks. Look how long the Kinks waited. And the funny thing was, I heard that Ray Davies and Dave Davies finally had gotten together like last year, and we're going to tour in 2020. And I was like, what a missed opportunity. How could you not? Like, just the Kinks were amazing. I saw them in 1980, 81 too, when they played the Spectrum. And they were there 2 nights, I believe, 2, maybe 3. And each night was sold out. And the band was one of the most electric live acts I've ever seen. I mean, Ray Davies had the girls just hanging onto his legs at the stage. Do you see that, Ike? Were you there for the Kinks? Kinks at the Spectrum? Some great shows. I was Spectaguard back in those days, working the pit, making sure everybody kept their hands down. Don't jump on stage. You can touch his legs. Don't jump on stage. What do I think of Spafford? I had Brian on my show very early on because they were one of the first ones to do a drive-in show. And 2 days before they did the drive-in show, I actually interviewed Brian. We had a great conversation. It's up on my YouTube channel. I love Spafford. My friend Jason Weinstock manages them, and they're a great band. I want to see it. I'd love for them to help to do it. Give the people what they want tour. Hallelujah. You watching 50 Shades Freed. I have to check that out on Zorn. Zorn, don't worry. It's just me today. So just get a couple shots in the beginning and you're good. You can do whatever you want. David and Tina need to settle. Well, it's not David and Tina. David and Tina. David, yeah. He has trouble with all the guys in the band, but it's all about money. Ain't a damn thing funny. And let's face it, after a while, you don't want to see these guys anymore. You spend years on the road with them in a bus, smelling them, having to listen to the bad, same old jokes and the same tired rap every day and the same complaints. And you're just like, yeah, I don't need these guys. I'm going to hire a bunch of young, hungry guys that are going to come out on the road with me and not be like this. So, Chrissy Hind, yes. Well, she was at the Tower Theater. Oh, man, I'm time traveling. I worked the show, a Pretender show at the Tower Theater, and my friend and I decided to take a little bit of a Quaalude before the show. I mean, not always a good judgment. And we were put on stage in the pit, and people were running up on stage to grab Chrissy Hind. So at one point I had to go up on stage, and I had Chrissy in one hand and I had this tweaker in the other, literally. And Chrissy's in the middle of the song singing. I can remember it like it was yesterday. I had to go up and I'm pulling this person off and then taking them out. And then their tour manager was like, don't do that anymore. I was like, what are you talking about? This guy jumped up on stage. You could have killed her. He goes, we got it. Don't worry about it. I'm like, okay. was a very interesting night. Down in history is one of my favorite nights as a security guard. The Pretenders on Quaaludes. 50 Shades of Grey, Part 3. Oh, like my life you're talking about. Yes, thank you, Mindy. It was. They're great guys. Amazing guys. Very talented. There's a lot of talent. Poor Goose. Goose got their goose cooked for the weekend. They were going to do their Halloween show, and it snowed. They're trying to do things too late in the season up on the East Coast. And I believe the Disco Biscuit's still doing it. But, what a great situation. You're at a concert and it's cold or it starts raining or snowing and you're right next to your car. And you can sit in it and you can turn the heat on and the music's coming out of stereo and you can put your wipers on and watch the band. So really, who cares? 32 degrees. You're going to come in. You just have to sit in your car the whole time. So puff, puff, puff. All right, sure. Anyway, that's probably why I'm so dry. I have freaking cotton mouth. Let's see what's Jay. Yes, it smells a big factor. Fish is about to go. Yes, you can, and then everybody has their own bus with fish too. All the guys. Listen, when you do business with your friends, when you're friends with somebody, and you're with them all the time, you see them all the time, and you just get sick of certain things, get on your nerves. So imagine now it's a business relationship, and you got to be with the person. You're with them for months at a time, going out. Oh, thank you, Josh. Yesterday was big fun. Yes, yesterday I kind of lost my marbles. Today I'm a little bit more sedate, but yesterday I lost my marbles a little bit on the air. Today I'm like, I have so many different things going on because we're getting ready to do the show on tomorrow night up in Beverly Hills, and I have so many elements. I got to rehearse the band. We got to set the lights up, get the sound dialed in. We're playing outside, so got to cover all the gear for the night. Hope the coyotes don't eat it. That shit's good. Again, our strain today, THC Designs, once again, the K24. If you'd like me to smoke your weed on the air, you know where to send it, right here. Jeff Kravitz, 420 Live. I will take your contributions. I will try out your products. I will rave about them. But it has to be good because I don't smoke the swag. So if I'm smoking it, it's got to be flavorful and tasty. Couple things about my cannabis consumption here is that I like it flavorful and tasty. So there's 4 days left. You have 4 days left. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So 4 days pre-vote, and then election day. I predict that Monday I don't have a guest either. And election day, we're going to do election day special. You guys better get used to me. It's just going to be me. I appreciate talking to other people, but maybe I'll just take like calls like Pinky did. I'll just send a link out. I'll send some kind of link out, and then everybody can come in and I'll have all you guys on. Just like ranting at me. Maybe we can all smoke weed together. I can get 9 people on screen at the time. If everybody wants to get high, you just tell me and I'll send you a link. We could do like Bong Hit TV. I don't know if you remember Bong Hit. He was like a pot celebrity early on, and he would come online and he had this huge chat with all these different people in these windows all smoking weed, and he'd highlight different people in their apparatuses. Drink a little coffee in my Mac and Mancos. Everybody, and if you've been to Ocean City Boardwalk, if you had Mac and Manco's pizza, it's not Mac and Mac's because Manco tried to take all the money and run, but I still have my Mac and Manco's mug, which I use because I drinks the coffees. Maybe Tuesday have guests. Yeah, you can happy to do that. Everybody can poll in. And today I wanted, I had a great show planned today. I was going to have my friend Rob Steinberg dressed up as Jerry Garcia down in New Orleans. He's an actor, and he would do a great Jerry. And I was going to interview Jerry and do it like a seance and channel Jerry onto the show. And then I was going to interview Jerry. We're going to have to do it in the future because it's still a fucking brilliant idea. But I was like, that would be great because it'd be like a Halloween show. We have a seance. Maybe we could get a Prince in and a Petty. But everybody in New Orleans is still without power, and so is everybody down. I believe ATL might have their shit together, but it disrupted voting for the day in Georgia, and they still beating the numbers. Absolutely incredible. Let's see. Send an email to the talent. Yes. Oh, yeah. Everybody, Josh, they're dying to talk to me. You would not believe my phone is ringing off the hook. No, actually, it's just reaching out and talking to people and lining them up. I had a great weekend line this weekend. And today I had Al Schneer as my guest. And Al's father-in-law passed away. Our condolences to Al. And so he's busy this weekend. So he had to go. And I get it. I mean, that happens. Happens all, things are happening. And right now with Mercury Retrograde, full moon in Taurus, the first full moon on a Saturday night Halloween since 1944. And then the clock going back to say and it's in Mercury Retrograde, the full moon, to say there's not a lot of crazy freaking energy is absolutely missing the whole boat. If you don't think there's a lot of weird shit going on right now, and if you haven't felt it, like if you haven't noticed that things aren't exactly working right the first time technologically, your phone's getting jacked or something's happening on your computer, Mercury. What do I want to hear on the Beacon Jam tonight? Mercury? Well, I'm going to be rehearsing the band tonight, Jeremiah. So I will be watching the Beacon Jam later. It's not really convenient for East Coast. It's coming up in 8 minutes, though, the Beacon Jams. Trey's been doing a great job raising money for his new rehab center. I'm really proud of him, and it's an amazing job he's doing out there. And it has been a really good for the community to have something to focus on once a week. We were focusing on the dinner and the movies, and they moved that to once a month. But this week we have an amazing lineup for dinner and movie. Peaches and Regalia. I like the song Peaches and Regalia. Yes. Ooh, Child and Mercury. So they're the guesses so far. Anyone else have a guess on what Trey's going to play tonight? He hasn't repeated a song yet. He's not going to repeat a song. It's the way this guy is. He's a no repeater. And I give him a lot of credit because it's hard. And especially when you're playing with guys and you got to teach them songs they don't know. They haven't played a lot of the Fish songs, but it's interesting to watch the strings and the piano and to see how it all comes together. And then Paige last week copping out on and not coming at all to any of the shows. Just like, hi guys, sorry, I can't be there. You guys are going to have to just watch Trey and Trey Band because Fish, I can't get in the car and drive to New York. I know everybody's got different comfort levels. I'm just busting balls. I think it's really harsh right now what's going on. And no two people feel the same way about it. And I know the reason. It's from the leadership. And that's why we're all going to vote, right? That's why you're going to fill out that little card and drop it in a slot. Do not mail it. You hear everybody saying this now. Don't mail it. Oh, here you go. Peter Wallace with a rock and roll suicide. I'm a rock and roll suicide. I did more singing today than I've done on the show in a long time. I guess that's where I am. All right. Well, I know Trey's coming up 5 minutes, and you're all getting ready to go watch him. I'm getting ready to go practice the band. So I'm going to give you a shortened version of the show today because I can only talk to myself so much before I start driving myself up the fucking wall. So I will peel myself off the wall. I will be, hopefully, I said this last week when we were playing, streaming the shows live. And I literally streamed me going to the mic and saying, all right, we're about to start the second set. And then the whole thing clicked off. So I'm not going to make any promises, but I will be recording the show on tape regardless. And if the Wi-Fi works or not. And that was my mistake last week. So I don't have a recording of the show, which is probably better off because it was a wee bit rusty last week. A wee bit. Let's forgetting words like crazy. But now I got the iPad with all my words in it and a little stand, and I'm just going to crush that shit because it really adds a lot to your confidence when you don't have to remember the words. I understand how important that is. You have to remember the lyrics of the song. The future of entertainment, Dr. Chaldone. Like I said, 10 years ago today, we were jamming at the Grand Fromage, and it feels like it was a different time, a different era. And I want it back. I want my time back. Donald Trump's been saying, I want my 4 years back because you guys investigated me. I want a do-over. I want a do-over of the last 4 years that we wasted watching a bunch of puppets and Muppets run our country. So please, everybody, get out there, vote, do what you got to do to make it right. Because let's face it, we're going to hell in the bucket. This ride's not fun. We're supposed to enjoy the ride, and we're not enjoying the ride. So you could actually see the difference in the indica versus the sativa shows. This is so much more relaxed than yesterday. I was like, I had too many ideas coming in my brain, and now I can barely fish an idea out of the back of it. Very nice. They did a good job there. THC Designs, thank you. Thanks for the book. I'll have to bring the book so you guys can see it. Everybody have a great weekend. If you're in the LA area, hit me up. Otherwise, I will see you on Monday for another adventure of 420 Live. Peace, love, and happiness. Here's a big hug. Oh, I'm cracking and popping. Lots of love to everybody out there. I hope and pray that sanity prevails and good returns, because I cannot take any more Satan running the show here. It's time. Let's let the love and light in. So get to work. It's up to us. Get to work. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a great weekend. We'll see you